Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Titan Business Builders podcast. And today I'm excited to have Jay Mapletoft as our guest. And Jay is the founder of our Queerbourhood. And our Queerbourhood, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, is a startup LGBT plus business community and social media marketing advice service. Hey, Jay,
Yes, correct. Hi, how
how
are you
did that
going?
sound? Good, good,
Perfect.
good.
Beautiful intro. Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. It's was a little bit overdue, uh, but now we're here, so
Yes,
I'm very,
we're
very
here
glad
now.
that we. And I hope the
And
connection will stay. I hope the connection will stay okay because you are in Australia, right?
yeah, right. And everyone knows that the internet in Australia is terrible. So let's see what happens. It's
Yeah,
that whole
absolutely.
down under thing doesn't really work in anyone's favors.
Well, the beauty of all of this is that now that with COVID that has happened, I think a lot of people have been meeting people around the world because we're all on Zoom or online these days. And I think it's a positive thing that now we have connections and relationships with people all over the world, don't you think?
Oh, I 100% agree. I think I've met more people in the last 2 years than I have in my entire life. But it's been really good. It's really good. I'm a traveler and I've always traveled. And so that kind of was a little bit tricky. But the good thing about this is we've been able to connect with people globally. And I think it shrunk the world a little bit extra.
Yeah, absolutely. And it created so much more opportunities for people that are starting their new business. I mean, you
Oh,
started your business,
absolutely.
our Queerbourhood. Like, tell us a little bit more, like, how did you came up with the idea and why did you start it?
Okay, so bit of a backstory. I've been in graphic design for about 10 years, and I've been on social media since as long as I can remember. And everyone my whole life has been like, "You spend so much time on there." Well, now it's my job. There we go. I don't have to hear them say that. However, uh, fast forward a little bit, and I was in the pandemic. I had been made redundant from a previous employer. I think, like a lot of the world at that time, uh, I took that opportunity to go in and dig deep and see what makes me happy, and what brings me joy, and how and try and figure out like what was going to be good like moving forward when we got out of the pandemic. Little did I know, like you, I'm sure, that I would meet this amazing, awesome community online. And uh, so ask me again the question because I'm there. All right, I'm there. I'm back. Sorry, ADD. Uh, where I came up with our Queerbourhood basically came from during the pandemic. I connected with a lot of queers online. And through that, I started a fan page for one of the LGBT plus influencers. And that grew. And then I started another one for the same person, but in a different aspect. And I learned on top of what I'd already learned studying and working for other people, I learned all the more about Instagram in particular in how to boost their engagement. Um, so it started like that. And I thought, okay, well, if I can help one person, how am I going to help more people? I was doing a lot of mental health work while I was studying. Nothing serious, more just like, talking to a lot of people during the pandemic, helping them when they had bad days. I was blessed to have saved a couple of people from some very dark places. And I started to go into mental health thinking that that's what I wanted, realizing that's not what I want. It's not creative. It's not this. It's not that. Okay, so I'm good with people. I'm good at Instagram. I really want to be part of the community. Well, I mean, I am part of the community, but I mean the business community, the LGBT business community. You know, how do I combine all of these things? And yeah, initially was thinking that we needed a business directory. And the more I researched that, I thought, okay, this is a go forward. Since that happened, it's then become more to my attention that my skill set is really in helping people grow their accounts. It's helping people to manage the ins and the outs. Okay, for an example, Stefan, I was talking to you earlier. We were texting on WhatsApp and I said, why are we not doing this in Instagram? Because this will help our engagement in Instagram. And something so small to me, he's like, oh, I never knew that, you know? And so those kind of things, the things I'm good at, I want to bring to help you guys, the community. And yeah, like if I can do that. Plus, I also wanted to do what Stefan did, or is doing, or we're doing, or whatever you want to say about that, and build an LGBT plus business community, and on a global scale where we can all come, feel safe, feel welcome, feel comfortable, that we can talk about anything, that we can ask each other for help. And so I've taken an aspect of that and turned it into a podcast by having a chat with people who are already doing it, to help those that want to do it, and also to get them a little bit more exposure. Does that answer your question?
Absolutely. I think
Take a breath.
you told the whole story about why you started it and how important this is. And I think you're 100% right. I mean, that's also the reason that Titanology has been created, with a sense, like I also felt like when I was looking for communities around businesses, especially LGBTQ plus businesses, there wasn't much around, right? So, and I think, I don't know how you feel about this, because if you're within our community, the LGBTQ plus community, and you want to start a business, do you feel like it's easier or harder to do when you're part of the LGBTQ plus community?
If you had have asked me this question a month ago, I would have answered very differently to what I am now. And I would have said, well, we're all equal. This is fine. Anyone can do this. Now, I mean, I'm talking business right now. I could expand on this if we are talking also influencer, which I will do. But for now, let's just do the business answer, which, from what I'm finding, just putting myself out there to build this platform where I can help the LGBT plus business for Instagram pages grow. I'm just thinking how to put it. Sorry. Yeah, if you had asked me a month ago, I would have been like, yeah, it's fine. It'll be fine. But what I have noticed in the last few days, now keeping in mind, I've gone from having 0 followers in September to now, where are we? The beginning of November, mid-November, end of November. I've got almost 500. And I've looked at other accounts that do the same thing as me, but are not part of the queer community. And their growth in the same amount of time is probably double or triple where I'm at. And so my answer is, I find it challenging. That also goes for influencing. And although I don't like to say, well, it's just because we're a part of the queer community, because at the end of the day, we're all human. I think it does play a role. In TikTok, I find very much so. There's a lot of double standards, if you like, for the queer and non-queer communities. When it comes to that, I can go into that at some point. Well, it's part of the social media, so but yeah, definitely, without wanting it to be, definitely tougher is the answer to that.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense, because we are part of our beautiful community, but there are a lot of other people outside of our community that tend to not relate so much to what we are doing or how we are within our community. And that is also
Exactly.
one of
The
the biggest
language we use
yeah.
sometimes, I have recently put, and I've stopped it now, but I recently put an advert on Facebook for our Queerbourhood business page. I use Instagram, but it's connective, as I'm sure a lot of people's are. Now, the difference between Instagram and Facebook, every single person that's seen my ad on Facebook is homophobic. And not only are they homophobic quietly, but they're homophobic in the comments very loudly, to the
Really?
point that I've turned that off. And a couple of comments, obviously your usual religious freaks. Not that they're all freaks, but the ones I'm talking about. But also, oh, well, why would you want a separate community? And I thought, well, it's no different to having your favorite football team and their colors as an example. Like, I know it's different, but as an example, and you having that bond with like-minded people. It's not us separating ourselves from the world. It's us creating a space with like-minded people that are passionate about what we do, but also feel comfortable enough to be ourselves in that space without prejudice, without the Jesus people. And I am not saying everyone, because it's not. I believe in Jesus, but I'm not out there telling people how to live their life, right? We all know the ones we're talking about. And so, yeah, I think I kind of got off topic here, but the point is that it's not safe everywhere for us as much as we'd like it to be. It's just not.
No, and that's not off topic, because that's the whole point why we're creating our communities. There are communities out there for business people that are Black, or just women, or just men, or just,
Exactly.
So in the same way, we are creating a business community for our community. And indeed, I would also say, like, people even within our community, where they would say, yeah, but why would you create something specifically for the LGBTQ plus? Well, the answer is, why not? And the answer is, if we are able to be ourselves within that community, isn't that the most powerful thing to do? And also, while creating a business, there's already so much challenges while we're creating a business, right? There's challenges around being within the LGBTQ plus community. So why not stick together, like-minded people that want to build a business, that want to break free from everything that is surrounded, and do not want to hide whatever they are, which is mostly the case within other communities or other programs where, okay, it's about business, and somehow, I don't know how this exists, somehow in the society, it's like, yeah, business is business, and then you have your personal life, so don't try to mix both. But in the end, you're who you are, so you can't really hide anything.
Exactly. And having worked for corporate before, and having worked in family businesses before, and having worked in environments where it's not okay for you to be out and proud and loud about it. Well, I'm sorry, but that's who we are. Our personality has to get shut down in order to be in these spaces. And why do we need to do that? We can be in an environment, and personally, I don't have a problem excluding allies at all. The LGBT plus includes allies, where the community then also protects from the homophobes and the haters and the people that make us feel uncomfortable and that feel like we need to suppress ourselves in order to be valid. And I'm 38. I turned 38 last Friday, and I tell you what, I'm sick of hiding who I am just to please other people, and I refuse to do it anymore. It's 2021, I think, 2022, nearly. And like, you know, we've just gone through a pandemic. It's time that for anyone, LGBTQ plus, you know, the Black community, you know, any community that's a minority, it's time that we're accepted and seen for the amazing things we can do past all of that crap.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
I'm a very passionate person, and it comes from the heart, and so it's very, and I'm a Scorpio, and it's Scorpio season, so my intensity level at the moment is on like steroids.
Good. That's perfect. That's beautiful. That's you authentically. And this is what
Yeah,
people
exactly.
need to see. This is what will get people to be connected with you. And one of the things that I always will repeat again and again, if you're starting and creating your business, you don't need to sell to everybody. You need to sell to the people that resonate with you, right?
Yeah.
And even the selling part, you're helping people that resonate with you, right? And yeah, there's a monetary exchange, but you're helping people. So
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
only encourage everybody within our LGBTQ plus community to try it out, to start a business, to start a side hustle or whatever. Try to find what makes you passionate and go for it, like you did, right?
And you?
And me. Yeah. And that's the whole
And
thing.
my 400 followers and however many you have. And
Yeah.
you know, and if you look at so you and I think started our Instagram account around the same time.
Yeah.
You're on TikTok. When did you join TikTok?
Oof. I dabble around in TikTok. I think I'm on TikTok since a few months, not long.
Okay, so not very long.
No.
Okay, so I started on TikTok during the pandemic, and in 2020 for the queer community, it was massive. There is a huge LGBT plus community over there, massive. And that's where I found my niche, if you like, my comfort, my jive. And it's a really, really supportive community over there. And so what I want to do is be able to bring that to Instagram, which it's there, it's just not as predominant. And I think that's achievable. I really do. Especially Instagram is a lot more diverse. Friendly. Diverse friendly. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of going off tangent with that.
No. I mean, this is true. I mean, we have to find a platform that really suits our business or how we want to create ours. And in your case, I mean, you are an expert within Instagram, and I can even say that you are an expert even in TikTok. I mean, especially when it comes to growth. So it makes all of the sense in the world to create a business around that. And you love doing that. You love being creative. So why wouldn't you,
I do.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you feel, Jay, is for you the biggest challenge to grow your business?
That's a good question. For me at the moment, so when I started this, I was 100% free. No, there was nothing. There was no other work. There was nothing. Right now, so about a week after I started this particular thing, because I've dabbled over the last 2 years. I had a clothing business for a little while, wasn't doing anything, and because I wasn't it was there, and it was, you know, doing a bit of this, doing a bit of that, but it wasn't sparking that joy.
Mm.
And then I had the light bulb moment, and I had all this time and energy to put into it. And two things have happened since then. Number one, I've got a permanent part-time position with an outside company where I'm still working from home, but I'm dedicated to putting that time in for them. And the reason that I'm doing that is, one, because it was a great opportunity. But the second part of that is I'm on a journey to parenthood in 2022, and I really need that job security. And I'm not saying that building my business, it won't happen, like it will, but I still need that security for starting a family. I'm doing it on my own. So, and the second part of that, you've put me on the spot here. This is a hard question. The second part of that is that, and I'm not sure if this is the right platform, but I'm so used to talking on TikTok, so let's just do it. Mental health wise, I've been having some medication the last couple of years to help with that. And again, because of the parenthood side of life journey, I have been coming off that. And so my anxiety's been a little bit like this. So for me, I'm still in the optimum zone to do that, but my outside of that life is a little bit more predominant than what it was before. I just got to ride the wave, because it'll all settle and I'll get into the groove. And yeah, I mean, and the second part of that is I'm not good at selling myself. I'm good at doing the work, but I'm not good at selling myself. And so I think that's where I kind of need a PA to do that for me. But I'm not rich enough to do that yet.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about is something that a lot of people are experiencing. I mean, you have, of course, a unique story, but if we're talking about time, if we're talking about anxiety, if we're talking about not being able to, or not being good at selling yourself, now, this is something that, especially in the start, we all need to overcome. I mean, we need to understand, I think, that this is just part of it, right? We are going to feel anxious. We are going to feel stressed. We will experience the fact that we don't have enough time, or it doesn't go fast enough like we want, and we need to learn some different skills than our own expertise.
Absolutely. Agreed. Absolutely.
And this is, again, I mean, I've gone through this journey myself as well. Now, I've been a serial entrepreneur since many years, so I've created a lot of businesses out of nothing as well, and it's always the same. The process is the same, and you always have that anxiety. You always want to get back to your comfort zone in a certain way. Now, I will say, and this is for everybody, I will say that if you lean into creating something around your passion, in the end, that will be much more fulfilling than any other thing that you've done. And it will not feel as work. And that is so important, because a lot of people are still within the 9 to 5, but are feeling like they're not in their place. Not even, I'm not even talking about the fact that we're in the LGBTQ plus community, but also just working for somebody else that you really don't like. So if you're in that kind of situation, I think Jay is the perfect example that you can do this, and you can have side projects. And it's a matter of learning new skills. It's a matter of learning time management, learning how to sell yourself, or, like, I would rather say, how to help other people, how to convince people to help them, almost, so it doesn't become like more of a selling thing. But yeah.
Yeah, look, I definitely agree with you on if you love something, it doesn't feel like work. Everything I'm doing right now, including my day job, which is, part-time, but including my day job, it's doing what I do. It's doing what I love. It's doing my passion. And I chose to do that because I was presented an opportunity to do what I love every day from the comfort of my own home. I will not go back into an office. I will, I'm happy to go 1 or 2 days a week if that's what the company or that I'm working for is asking. I've been very blessed. Everything I've manifested in 2020 came into fruition in 2021. But if we're talking about you guys out there who want to start something, think about what you're good at. Think about what makes you happy. For an example, I watched a live earlier today where an ex-chef was speaking very passionately about she is teaching busy mums, how they can put a home-cooked meal on the table ready for their family dinner or whatever it might be, without calling Uber, without calling, Dinnerly or whatever, still being able to provide a healthy home-cooked meal for their family, as well as being able to work. Now, she was so passionate about it. She was jumping out of the screen, and that's exactly why for her, she's doing something that genuinely makes her happy. And so therefore it doesn't feel like work because she's doing what she's passionate about.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And just going back 1 second, when you said before about we need, I can't remember your exact words, but what it made me realize is that the other reason that Stefan and myself are building this community is so that if you don't have that skill, so I'm a social media marketing manager, right? And a graphic design, that's me. I don't do sales, but maybe Stefan does. And what are we going to do? We're going to help each other. Why? Because I can help him and he can help me. And together we can create this amazing experience. And Joe Blow down the road, who has, I don't know, what other skill do we need? IT skill. So when we have the glitches, and the point of the community is that we can then take what we have, pass it on to the other people within the community. The people within the community can pass their skills on, and we can help each other. The whole world needs to help each other, whether it be, building a veggie patch and giving your neighbors some food, or doing this. Like, did we learn nothing from the pandemic? We need to help each other. Community is everything.
100%. And there's this great comment here from one of our viewers. And they say it's difficult to beat the security provided by a steady paycheck. But for someone who's passionate and knows where they want to go, what's needed is guidance to be able to get your passion business to a stable place.
Absolutely.
So this is 100% true. And together with helping out each other and getting the support that you need, that is exactly why we're building this community, why we're building Titanology, why we're building our Queerbourhood. And what people need to realize, especially within our LGBTQ plus community, is it's helping each other in a way that we can all win, right? So we can leave that security of a steady paycheck and we can lean into our business that we are passionate about. And we have to exchange value, either monetary or knowledge or whatever it is, but through a community where we can all come together. So the steady paycheck, I mean, this has been my case for many years as well, especially when you're starting freelancing. you get that, but you're not really working on something that you're really passionate about. In my case, that wasn't the case. So honestly, if you have somebody that can guide you through all of the challenges that you have that are surrounded building a business, and you can find a community with people that are doing the same, then I would definitely recommend leaning into that, so that you're
And
actually
initially you don't need to throw in the towel at your 9 to 5. And
no.
I know how tiring it can be, and you don't have the energy to put into a side hustle. But if you can find one day a week as a
Mhm.
starting point, that's starting somewhere. And, then you can look at what I did and go part-time employment and part-time building
Yeah.
and get that balance. So you're still having that steady income and that job security and all of the things that we
Yeah.
are programmed to want and need into this world, because it is programming.
Mhm.
Then eventually, we can step away from society in that respect. And I mean, this is the idea everyone wants. There's a good podcast by Demi. What's it called? The Millennial Crisis. Highly recommend listening to that. Really good at helping talk through and connect with people that have done exactly that, stepped away from their 9 to 5 and built this side hustle, turning it into more
Mhm.
than that, which is exactly what Stefan does as well.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Here's your guy. Talk to him. And why is my finger pointing the wrong direction? Is it doing it your end? Because it's
I
pointing.
Yeah, it's just a camera thing. Don't worry about it. But
He's
yeah,
over there.
but you're right. I mean, that's what success looks like for me, is what you're able to do what you love to do, right? And for some people, that's starting their own business, but for other people, that is working for somebody. There's
And
not
for me, it's
there's
both.
yeah, and the right answer is your answer, right? It doesn't have to be something that somebody else does. You have to think about yourself first of all. But I
Exactly.
also want to say again is that it is possible if you're connecting with the right people. Now, Jay, what does success looks like for you?
I'm doing it now. I'm doing the things that I love in my own way, and I'm doing it from a place where I am myself, as well as in my, I'm an introvert. I love that I can work from home. Of course, I'm going to go to a cafe every now and then, or like Stefan, right now I'm not, but get on a plane and go somewhere else. Because I have for the last 10 years, I wanted to build something where I can move my laptop wherever I want and still be able to work. I don't have to have that constraint of being
Mm,
in an office 9 to 5. I don't have to have the constraint. I was saying to my mother yesterday, because of the pandemic, because in Sydney, we've just come out, I think maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks max. We've just come out of 4 months lockdown.
mm,
So I'm still on the laptop in my study, but now I'm reprogramming that, oh, wait, I can go to a cafe, because for 4 months we weren't able to do that. And so
mm,
now I'm slowly getting back into the headspace. Oh, wait, I can take my laptop and go anywhere and still be able to work. And so for me, that's success. Helping other people and seeing their growth and seeing, them light up when I say something that is really, for me, second nature. And for them, it's going to change their whole aspect on, oh, well, why didn't I think of that? And to see that in someone else is successful to me. Knowing that I've helped that person is successful to me. And sure, money's important. We need it to pay the bills and eat and have food and all of that. But it's not the be all and end all of things. There are far more things that are more important than money to me. So I'm already successful.
Awesome. Yeah, I love to hear
And
that.
also mindset. You tell yourself you're successful every fucking day. Sorry about that. Every day. You're already successful.
Yeah.
If you think, oh, I'm not successful, I can't do that, well, of course you can't, because you're not there in the right headspace.
Yeah.
If you're there and you're showing up every day, you're already successful.
People tend to forget very fast how far they have come, right? What they have done in the past few months or years, even just going
Absolutely.
looking at the period since COVID hit. Well, if you look at what you have accomplished since then, I think a lot of people would be surprised, but they're sometimes in the wrong headspace, that they think like, yeah, indeed, I'm not successful, but connecting success with a specific goal is the quickest way of feeling unhappy, because if you would be only happy if you reach the goal, or successful, but that's not the case, right? It's your journey that defines if you're successful or not. And that's also like a mindset shift for most of the people. But yeah, I
But
love what
also,
you're
like
saying.
you've just said, like, who sits back and goes, oh yeah, look how far I've come? Well, successful people do.
Yeah.
Because I know where I've come from, and I was so lacking in confidence 2 years ago because I'd been made redundant 3 times in 2 years from companies that I'd worked for, and it knocked my confidence something severe, and it took a lot of work for me to build that back up. But you know what? I did it, and I did it. Nobody else did it for me. I did it myself, and I'm proud of that. And I don't know what your situation is out there. Do the work. Show up every day. There you go. That's the secret right there. Success.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, Robert, thanks for watching
Hi,
live here.
Robert.
And he says, like,
Oh
yeah, he
my
did.
God, how cute is that photo?
Robert and
Love
his
it.
kid, but he says, like, yeah, he did not acknowledge himself enough. And I think for a lot of people, that is the truth. Huh? They still are so much focused on what is not there instead of focusing sometimes on what is already there, And it's important, because if you're in that headspace, you're going to feel much better, and then you're going to resonate with other people that feel the same way. So if you're feeling down all the time and negative, you will attract negative people, and those are not the ones that you want to help, So be wary of that. Okay, Jay, where can people find you?
Everywhere. Okay, so you can find me on thank you, right there.
This one right here.
Instagram,
Instagram.
our.queerbourhood. And my personal Instagram is J Mapletoft. No, let's just everyone go here.
Go to
And
our
then there's a
Queerbourhood.
link.
Yeah.
And there's a link in my bio which will take you to everything else. So I've got
Yeah,
a YouTube channel which needs updating. I'm on TikTok, both personal and business, Instagram, personal and business, Spotify for your weekly podcast. And I'm sure there's more. I told you, I'm everywhere.
Good. Well, I want to thank you again, Jay, for coming on the podcast and sharing your stories, sharing your knowledge. And I think we will see each other again very soon. Again,
Can
thank
I
you,
help
everybody.
enlighten you on a couple of Instagram tips before I go?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so number one, just so that everyone else out there knows, DM on Instagram. Any conversation in your DM counts as engagement. Number two, make sure your profile is optimized. If you don't know what that means, head on over to my Instagram page.
Yeah.
I will be putting something out very soon. And thirdly, you've got one chance to ask me one question, Stefan. Let's go. Let's do this. Test my knowledge.
One question.
That's like something maybe that you've had trouble with this week or this month or.
Well, in terms of a good question might be like, how do you find the top 5 accounts for your niche that are more or less competitors, but where you can engage with that account to lure people, to get people from that account to your account?
Well, how you find them is Dr. Google. Google is your answer to find who they are. There's usually an article somewhere I found. And then the other way of doing that is also in your search bar in Instagram. If you type in a hashtag for your, say it's a hashtag cooking, if you go into your hashtag there, you can do it that way. And it's basically you want to look for in your, see now, the name of it, where you go to search. I'm having trouble with recall today. Where you go into this, I'm just going to show you. I'm a visual person, right? So we go into your search, then you type in what did I say, cooking. So click on the account button, and this can be like niche down. This is just an example. And anything in your, there we go, discovery page is usually going to be your the more influential accounts. Go through to them, and you can connect with people, go through their following, see who they're following, click on their picture, go through. There's 160 comments. That's 160 people that you can click on and connect with right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I have found is that Instagram is an easy way to really go specific in your targeting if you want to reach out to people. And people are somehow more open to starting conversations with you through Instagram than they are through Facebook. I don't know why,
Yes.
but it's like that. So if you're having trouble,
I think it's an age thing. I think it's I think that for me personally, as I said before, I put that advert out on Facebook's in a world of its own. It's got a lot of trolls that are like negative trolls. It's got, unfortunately now, it's got a very toxic environment.
Yeah, 100%. And since I have been focusing more and more on Instagram, I think I've created a lot of opportunities. That's how we met as well. And it's true, it's a more open environment. Also because it's so easy to specifically target people that you want to talk to. In Facebook, it's a lot harder for sure. So it's definitely a good tip for people to start using Instagram that way, to get more opportunities, to get more people, or to show people who you are. I would definitely also recommend. So thank you, Jay, for that. And
thank you.
Yeah, we will do another session about specifics on Instagram in the future, in the near future.
I love that.
Check our space as well on Titanology, don't forget. And thank you again, Jay, for your time. It was great meeting you here. And we will see
Sorry
each other.
about the swear word in there.
That's fine. We don't care. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
My mother will kill me. Hopefully she's not watching.
Oh, do you have another question?
Peace, love. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in to us both. Thanks for having me, Stefan.
No problem. Thank you, and see you soon. Bye-bye.